What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel to talk 4K Blu-rays. And today's 4K takes us back to 2005 for the stop-motion animated flick from Tim Burton, Corpse Bride, for the first time on 4K, and for its 20th anniversary, we get this nice steelbook from Warner Brothers. Let's check it out. You know what's cool? See-through slipcover, and then inside, a matte steelbook. Inside, you have a little photo, and then there's just one lone 4K disc. This steelbook is actually pretty nice looking. Now, it's been a minute since I've seen this movie, but I'm glad we got this new release because it was a perfect opportunity to revisit it. And while it may not be my favorite Tim Burton movie, it's still a fun and enjoyable animated flick that still holds up pretty well today. In fact, you could say the animation looks just as good as today as it did back then. It does kind of look fantastic. All layered with catchy tunes and interesting characters all centered around the two usuals, Johnny Depp and Helena Bonham Carter.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. We need to go up. Upstairs?
Now, I don't know how many times they've collaborated together, but the team of Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, and Tim Burton rarely have a miss. They seem to always put out interesting works of art, and this movie is no different. They were terrific, and their voiceovers were fantastic, just like the rest of the cast, including Emily Watson, as well as Christopher Lee as the priest. Let's get into it. Victor Van Dort has been arranged to marry Victoria Everglot. That will benefit both families. But when Victor runs into some fright during the vows rehearsal, he runs off into the forest. There he practices his vows and places the ring on a tree branch, which happens to be the finger of a corpse bride named Emily. She accepts his proposal, and they descend into the underworld. However, Victor wants to return to the land of the living, but there are things he must accomplish for this to be so he can marry the one for him, Victoria. For the first time on 4K, Warner Brothers delivered a new master from a 2K upgrade that for the most part looks pretty stunning. This 1:8:5:1 image in HDR looks almost flawless from start to finish. I was impressed with the amount of clarity and detail for this film. Colors were rich and vibrant, especially in the underworld. The film also had rich and deep black levels with exceptional contrast. Though it's still animation, the amount of sharpness and fine detail was pretty much perfect here. 10 out of 10 for the video.
Tell me, my dear, can a heart still break once it's stopped beating?
Audio was presented in Dolby Atmos, which was anything short of amazing. The film offers a fairly active sound mix, which features sounds and effects coming at you from all angles. For example, the circling crows were enough to have you look around a room to see where they were coming from. Danny Elfman's score was fantastic and reminiscent of some of his darker comic book takes. Vocals were clean and clear. The audio track is as good as the video. 10 out of 10 for the audio. In terms of special features, you had two new interviews and retrospectives looking back at this movie, as well as the legacy features, such as Inside the Two Worlds of the movie, Making Puppets Tick, how the animators made this movie, production galleries, a Tim Burton Dark vs. Light segment, voices from the underworld, and the voices of the movie. 5 out of 10 for the features. Fans of this movie will definitely want to pick this up, because it really is a great release. It's never looked or sounded better. I'd rate this movie a 7 out of 10, and overall this release from Warner Brothers gets a 9 out of 10. Well, that's today's review. Come back again and see what else we're watching.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, bruh.